Good morning, everybody. This is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. I thank you so much for stopping by. And as always, I send you love. I hope you all had a blessed Christmas day, however you all celebrate it. Mine was truly, truly a grand time. I have, though, been experiencing intense crown pressure. I think I mentioned it in my video beginning Christmas Eve. It was just that nagging pressure that was just lingering all day long. It got to the point of Christmas Eve night that I couldn't even sleep. It got to a point of disruption. And so I didn't sleep much Christmas Eve on into Christmas Day. Woke up with it kind of still that nagging headache. Not as bad as it was when I was trying to sleep, but still present. And here I am again today. I slept well last night, thankfully for that. And I have woken up to the same thing. So I kind of want to explain. I think what we are really working with here, although it's going to affect or can affect our entire physical form, what is really the focal point here is the crown. Because the crown here is associated with, of course, higher states of consciousness. We have so many, we have, of course, the crown chakra, and we also have the pituitary chakra. But we also have the pineal gland, which is associated with your fourth eye. The pituitary is the third eye. When you go looking for understanding between that, there are two associations here, but there are also, and depending on where you read, if you are lucky to find these websites who actually combine the third eye with the pineal and the pituitary, and that is actually the more correct version of it, because it takes the pineal to be fully open and activated to fully allow more light or that essence to go through to the pituitary gland, and enhance light. So if you are experiencing lots of headaches here lately, migraine type, cluster headache type discomfort, this is why. If you are feeling dizzy, nauseous, if you have full body discomfort, it's also, again, associated with the crown, because the crown here and everything that's taking place, that's being upgraded within our brain, is secreting a hormone. A hormone that, of course, is flowing through your entire body, changing you to be your full light self. And so I want to kind of express a couple of things, because maybe you are picking up on this. Perhaps even in your dream state, you are having these dreams where you are being upgraded. Things and being enhanced in some way, shape, or form. It could be your relationships are being enhanced in your dream state. It could be people are giving you money within your dream state. It could be, of course, that you are receiving some form of healing within your dream state. And you can still be in that type of clearing in your dream state. Perhaps old people from your past are creeping up, either in your reality or within your dream state, to help you clear out those stagnant energies. associated with whatever they brought to you in your life. Regardless if you have or you think you have healed from it, there's still stagnant energy. And that's kind of what I have been experiencing here lately. People who I really don't think about on a daily basis, yet has kind of affected my life in the past, where there was, I didn't, like some associations about those relationships, or I felt uneasy about something within those relationships. They are being cleared in my dream state. And so I'm experiencing that. Now, if you are receiving lots of money in your dream state, this is a sign that you are receiving abundance and prosperity as a result of your upgrades. However it comes into your reality, though, later on, let it do its thing. Don't take money, if you are receiving it within your dream state, as only a form of currency, okay? That means, you're wealthy or going to be wealthy. Allow it to be abundance. Allow it to be prosperity. And this is just a suggestion, because you leave it open to many forms of wealth within your life, whether it's wealth in love, wealth in, if you want to have material things, whatever it is, wealth in also currency form, okay? There's so many ways that we can receive abundance in prosperity and wealth in our life. Don't limit yourself. And so I'm going to kind of stick with this crown scenario here, because it's what I've been talking about anyway. And I think in a video previously, I mentioned the Star of David. And I have mentioned, of course, the Christmas tree, because it's associated with this time. So the evening of Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, the night that I didn't sleep, I saw the Christmas star again, golden, shining in gold, as well as the Christmas tree was glistening in gold all the way down. So from the top of the star down to the root was shimmering in gold essence, glowing in a gold essence. Now you can also interpret this as receiving the golden aura, a golden halo, whatever it is. But I am going to talk much deeper. In order to be anointed, in order to receive the halo, what I'm about to talk about, of course, has to take in effect. And this is why the crown is being so affected here, or enhanced and upgraded. And of course, I've mentioned all of this throughout my videos. It's not, we don't stop upgrading these levels. They will always be enhanced as we continuously move forward, as we continuously receive light. But I think they'll get to a point, my mind and my heart connection is going to believe this, that there won't be so much, so many side effects, symptoms in relationship to it that kind of knock you to the ground, okay? Although I am not feeling knocked to the ground today or during the daytime hours, I am very, very grateful that I've been able to still function with this intense upgrade. And I appreciate that Source is allowing me to function. And then, of course, at nighttime is when the serious stuff gets upgraded, and you kind of feel it a little bit more. And that's okay. I mean, of course, I wouldn't mind not having those intense side effects, but it's also, I think, my chosen path where I have chosen to really feel, and I mentioned this before, I choose to feel because it keeps you grateful later on. If it was so easy, how can we look back and say, I'm the one who did this? Through great suffering, if you want to call it suffering, you receive the greatest reward because you have done the work. You have actually gone through something, and it wasn't easy. So you're going to remember this, and in remembering it, you're going to be grateful. So, within our body, we have a lot going on. You have the Ida, you have the Pingala, and do my best to pronounce the Sushumna. You guys know what I'm talking about. So you have the left and the right. You have the sun and the moon. You have the positive, you have the negative, and your central column that shoots through your chakra system is, of course, the Sushumna, which it only flows when you have both your Ida and your Pingala flowing properly as well. And that's the representation of the Kundalini, okay? Now, when it's finally time, all of these kind of like mix into a form of a chemical marriage again. You have the feminine and the masculine, both mixing and uniting with your central column. Now, you will also have, because you need the Ida, Pingala, and the Sushumna working, functioning, in order for it to be in the crown. And this, of course, is associated with the spinal fluid, the colostrum, the CSF. Then we will have the pineal gland, of course, and the pituitary gland. And that will make a chemical wedding. We are also going to have the frankincense and the myrrh. Again, masculine and feminine. The honey from the pineal gland. And then you're going to have the milk from the pituitary gland. Again, positive, negative, masculine, feminine. And this is also known as the twin flame. This is our true inner twin flame journey that takes place inside of us. This internal marriage, where we reunite our own lost soul. In time, if you are supposed to have a soul connection here, when your centers are united, merged, married, centered, that's when, if that's part of your contract here, you will unite with your twin flame. Now, it doesn't mean you can't be with your twin flame. Currently, that's not what I'm saying. And I wasn't going to go this route through this video, but since I mentioned it, let's go ahead and clear this up. If you are currently with a twin flame, you know it with all of your heart, and it's still not its best. You guys are still this tug and pull kind of relationship. It still takes one individual here to complete the full transformation, the complete union within themselves prior to, and I don't want to say easier road between the two, because it still may have that tug and pull relationship, but it's not going to be as intense as it has been, because oftentimes in a twin flame union, it's fire and ice. It's not all smooth and gravy, okay? Because you both are here working together. If you are married or in a relationship living with each other, then you're trying to function as a union. Yet you both are trying to heal and, of course, complete your own internal transformation. And that's why it makes it a difficult road, because you both are on the same journey, yet a separate one. So make sure that you have compassion for your counterpart, because you know how difficult it is in your own journey. And so let's see, what else was I meaning? Okay, so we have the crown chakra, and this is relationship to the sun. Spirit, also associated with gold, the liquid gold, the gold star that I saw associated with the crown, the universe, of course. The star itself is associated with the universe and God source, and then the tree is associated with your entire physical form. The light from the universe, of course, goes to your crown, through your crown, and all the way down to your centers. So gold is associated with the crude matter of the sun, which is sulfur. That red elixir of that sexual alchemy that transforms lead into gold, of the pineal gland, which is associated with the 7th chakra and your crown. So without the crown being open, the complete transformation within the pineal and pituitary, and all of the synchronicity within your brain cannot be completed. So again, what's taking place is all of your main chakras are being open. Your heart chakra begins the opening and activating of all of the other chakras. When it is finally time, your crown will completely open further than what it already is, because light, yes, is coming through. It's kind of, it's a little bit open to allow you to receive light and healing during this process. But for it to be fully open, it means that your other centers are completely open as well first. And then when it is time, your crown is going to open further and allow the energy that you have been working on within your physical form and in your crown to eventually burst out. Now also keep in mind, when we are at this level, the spiritual chakras have already merged down within our physical form. The 7 main chakras have moved down into our legs, keeping us grounded. So don't think that because I'm using crown, pineal, pituitary, that we are not already working with these spiritual chakras, because we are. When we are within this 5D or Christ consciousness, that is what we are precisely working with. Our spiritual chakras have been brought down into our centers. It's just, in order to keep it simple, we're still working with our old centers that are just now being merged with our spiritual chakras. So I hope that makes sense. So then we have the moon, which is associated with your soul. I think I said the sun was associated with your spirit. If I didn't, I meant to. The moon is associated with the color silver, or the element of silver, mother of all metals. The crude matter of the moon is Mercury, And it is the white elixir of the sexual alchemy that purifies and whitens the base metals, which is lead, and associated with the pituitary gland and the sixth chakra. Now there is a there is also, because of when we have the our energy centers, the Ida Pingala, all of that is merging within both our pineal and pituitary, because they're mixing. The energy is mixing and uniting. So the female will go to the female, the masculine will go to the masculine, and then they mix together and seep back down as a union energy column. I hope that makes sense. So the moon, again, as I mentioned, is associated with silver and Mercury. It is a reference to the crude matter of the moon. It is the metallic element that is also associated or known as quicksilver. Quick in the sense of living. The crucifixion of Mercury is any severe treatment that causes it to change form or upgrade from coal. And again, this coal element, because that's when it's not activated, is the same thing that Santa leaves if you have been a bad child. So here we are again, synchronizing up with Christmas. So I hope I have said everything that I meant to talk about, and I hope it kind of makes sense for you, because I just wanted you to know the association with that chemical marriage that we are dealing with here, and what gold, again, represents. And keep in mind, when we are going through this process, you're going to hit these centers often. So if you are an intuitive individual who receives and can see at what stage and level you are at, you may have already witnessed the star on several occasions. Or even gold, okay, throughout your process. That's why it's so important for you to kind of journal. I have seen the gold, like a gold orb. I've seen the star before, the golden star, but the element hadn't kind of trickled down my tree. My entire tree of life hadn't been glistened with it yet. Or perhaps when you are seeing this, perhaps the source is allowing you to see that it's made its way only through the crown. Maybe it's made its way only towards your heart, and then it then stops, because you can, I know for myself, I am given zoom in pictures, images from time, and that will be the focal point. For instance, if it's the crown, it's going to be associated with the top of the tree. And sometimes it's the lower part of the tree. You know, it can be, and however it comes to you, it doesn't have to be an actual tree. Just keep in mind, we will continuously come back and forth to these centers, because why? The sun and the moon, all the planets. We have 12 months, 12 astrological signs, and every planet is associated with every chakra within our body. So please keep that in mind, and please have patience with yourself. It is a process, and it's important to kind of have fun with it. Don't take it so seriously to the point that it burdens you and it makes you tired. So how can you see it as a game? A game that you have to continuously play in order to get towards your end goal. And the end goal is to always be your greatest self. And when you are your greatest self, no matter how high the hill is, how low that valley is, or if you're going through a fire pit, swimming through the deep oceans, if you're going and traveling through a thunderstorm, whatever it is, make the most of it. Because when you do, you lighten the situation and therefore make your way out of it a little more smoother. So I am still taking it easy. I also wanted to say thank you because I had a few appointments today scheduled for this weekend for those who have reached out to me who would like sessions. I thank you first for those of you who have trusted me to give you that type of counseling, if you will, guidance, if you will. I guess I should have said. I appreciate that trust, and I'm very grateful for that connection. And again, I appreciate the rescheduling because I have pushed off several appointments for today and tomorrow, and I really shouldn't have made these appointments just because of the craziness of this week. And so I do apologize for scheduling you in when I knew I was going to already be quite busy with the holiday season. But I am also experiencing this crown tenderness that I'm really not going to, I really don't want to connect spiritually through to get anything for you spiritually as in the form of messages. That is, if that's something that we have spoken about, because they're, when I'm not feeling well, and if someone isn't feeling well, the connection part can be a little more difficult. So again, I say thank you for those who are very flexible or have allowed me to be more flexible in my schedule and reschedule them. If I haven't already set up your appointment for that reschedule appointment, I will. I haven't forgotten about you. And again, I say thank you. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.